Hey everybody, welcome back to more Shining Force CD. Well, last time we went and beat Book 1. This time around, we're actually going to head right on in to Book 2. But first, gotta go through the menu system here. And for Book 2, what's going to happen is the game considers it beaten. There's a clear flag now, so we have a clear for Book 1. So I'm going to load up Book 2 into my cartridge over here instead of my inner backup since I have more than enough space in the cartridge slot. Thankfully. Thankfully, the Sega Genesis Mini and other versions of this game usually tend to have that if you have it set up right. That being said, since we are going to start off with a new game, so I'm going to ask if it's a sequel when we hit The Evil God Awakes, which is Book 2. It's going to ask if it's a sequel. We hit yes, and it transfers names of characters. In this case, only really Nick. I didn't really rename anybody else since I never really input a code or anything like that to do that, which is nice. And knowing that, it's actually going to give us a new main character the name. In this case, the name of the main character in this one is Deanna, which may be a little weird considering it looks like Dina or Deanna, things like that. I say Deanna. But yeah, since it's a sequel, I'm going to select the one in my cartridge, and some of the names will be already registered to what I had them. And then we can choose our difficulty level. In this case, I'm just going to go normal. If I did easy, the game would be slightly easier. Stats of enemies would be a little bit lower. Hard and super hard, they'll just raise the stats of the enemies, make the game a little bit harder. So you might have to grind just a little bit more, but that's all. That's really too different. Sometimes the AI is a little bit smarter in the harder difficulties. That's all it really is. So let's get started. The kingdoms Guardiana and Cyprus have joined their armies to battle the evil Eom. We'll now offer a human sacrifice to Eom. To Eom, our evil ruler, your servant, Waterer offers you the blood of royalty. Accept my offering. No, stop! I'm still the king! I'll not stand for this! I demand that you release me at once! Quiet, you disgust me. Eom deserves royal blood. You'll become one with our deity. You ought to be grateful. Oh, truly evil prince of darkness. Accept our sacrifice. Stop! Spare me! Stop! Wait! Barbara, update me on your latest information you have on Cyprus. Things are going according to plan. They're marching towards Eom, unaware of the trap we set for them. They think they can triumph over us. What misguided fools. What about the Guardiana army? Don't worry about them. By the time they are ready to march, the Cyprus army will already be on their way. Very good news, Barbara. Do you have anything to add, Solo? Sir, the fort on the Ogum Plains is close to completion. We've also surrounded the fort with traps. All we must do now is to wait for the Cyprus army. Good work, Solo. Now all we need is the Sword of Haja. And how should we do that? Gordon, where's Gordon? You summoned me, sir. I am at your service. Gordon, you know Prince Nick of Cyprus better than any of us. Will the prince lead his army even without the support of Guardiana? Not to worry, sir. He's a man of honor. Even if his right hand is turned to stone, he'll come. Since his right hand is useless, would he bring his sword? Gordon, here are your orders. After the Cyprus army leaves their castle, raid it and bring me the Sword of Haja. Sir, as you wish. Barbara, Solo, go with him. Yes, sir. Sir. By the way, Hindle, accept my condolences. Sir? I've heard that your younger brother died at the hands of a lowly swordsman. It couldn't be helped. The law of the land states if one is unable to protect oneself, one deserves to die. You're absolutely correct about that. Just remember that power is the key. Power is what we need the most. More power! Today, Prince Nick and the Cyprus army begin their long march to Eom in order to preserve peace. Prince Nick, if you're ready. I'm just about ready. Mayfair, you're in charge while I'm gone. You can count on me. The castle will be well protected during your absence. Jan, take care of the prince and look after yourself. Okay? Thanks, I'll be careful. We must succeed. In order to achieve true peace. There's no other way. Lower the drawbridge! Natasha, what's wrong? Prince Nick, come quickly. We heard some screams coming from the cliffs, and when we arrived, this young man was lying there unconscious. Is he hurt? Bring him to the castle and tend to his wounds. I'll take him to the castle. Ah, Prince Nick. I guess it's time for you to leave. Yes, I must be leaving. Don't be so glum. This battle was unavoidable, and it is for the good of Cyprus. Take care of things while I'm gone. Don't worry, I'll take care of everything. The prince and his party will be fine. They're stronger than you think. They'll be back, victorious. Yes, they will. Prince Nick and the Cyprus army begin their journey to Eom. Is everyone at their posts? Natasha, are you alright? I'm worried about you. You've been doing double guard duty lately. I'm fine, don't worry about me. I've seen you and Deanna talking occasionally. You appear to be the only one he talks to. Can you keep him near you and be his friend? Sure. Eric, what a surprise! You're not fooling around today! What do you mean? I always pay full attention when I'm on guard duty. Just remember, be alert and no fooling around. Relax, she's gone. Guard duty is such a bore. Yeah, we should have gone with the prince into battle. Hey, Deanna, come join us. What? Don't tempt him. You're not a good influence. Unlike you, Deanna is taking his guard duty seriously. Leave us alone, Dawn. We're only having some fun. I knew it! You left your post! It's despicable! Relax, don't think it's going to happen anyway. Look, it's the enemy! The enemy! Everyone, to their posts! Oh, they have the... Okay, that's surprising that they went first. So, we have a little bit of a new situation over here. Let's start off by actually going into our map really quick here. Map. Yeah, so we have a little bit of an assault from all sides. So we have some on the left, some on the right, and some in the middle, nothing too fancy. But we have the usual standard fare of enemies at the beginning of the game. We have the goblins, we have the scavengers. Our big enemy here is actually the Dragonute, which I feel like it's misspelled. I feel like it should be EWT, not UTE. But yeah, he has a really good heavy hit and he knows Blaze, so that could be a big deal. But as you can tell, we have a new cast for book 2. And we're starting off with Natasha because it landed on Natasha. Natasha is a mage, which is kind of neat considering that she is the leader of the Shining Force in Book 2, as well as the Sword of Haja on the Game Gear. She knows Egress as well as Blaze, so she can actually teleport us out if we need to. Being a mage, she's rather squishy though, so her defense is rather lacking, doubly so in the CD version. She's a little bit better in the Sword of Haja Game Gear version. But here, her MP stats actually kind of raise really dang quickly in the beginning. And overall, she is kind of slow to learn things. It's mostly just slow, and then her attack is just like, nah, I didn't get barely anything there. But she is a mage, so just keep that in mind. If Wendy's anything to go by, I think I'm going to have a pretty good feeling about Natasha through this playthrough. Otherwise, past that, we also have Deanna, who is the swordsman. As you can tell, he is also a leader who also knows Egress. His stats all around aren't as good as Nick from Book 1 in general. He's actually slightly weaker overall. He does get better, but his agility is kind of garbage and it never really goes up until maybe like after his promotion when it actually has a slightly better chance of raising up. It's still slow versus being barely anything at all. But past that, he is pretty decent as a character all around. He's just a character you want to keep leveled up because he will keep up with the party if you keep him leveled up. Next on our list is Jaha. Jaha is just, the standard dwarf warrior, turns into gladiator later on deal where he has so much attack, some pretty decent defense. The thing is though, his HP here is not really that impressive, but he's still a good tank compared to his Game Gear counterpart anyway, where his HP is just kind of much higher. As a result, he's just kind of not as busted as some of the other characters in Book 1, but here they kind of lowered him down a little peg by lowering his HP levels. That's that. Just keep him in your front line. He's a pretty decent character overall. Next up on our list will be Eric. Eric is the Centaur Knight. Not honestly that great. His HP is pretty decent and his attack is high. For now anyway. You definitely want to have him kind of leveled up. Just keep him going because this 7 movement is actually pretty dang useful. Now, going into that, we also have another one. Another knight, Dawn. Pretty much kind of statistically comparable to Eric a little bit, but here, she is not really that great overall. She's okay. Her attack and defense will be decent as she levels up over time. But the thing is though, she's solid. She's solid. She will be a little bit nice, but then after she kind of promotes, Eric kind of outclasses her a little bit, except for maybe defense. Past that, yeah, we have another character left to go. We have Luke, who is, the standard monk. Nothing too fancy with him. He does have healing, which will be kind of nice to have this early on. He's essentially, I want to say, the Cray of this game, where he has some pretty decent attack. You just kind of have to get in there and actually do the attacks pretty early on in order to actually make him useful. If you do that, he's pretty much good to have him in your party. Just whack things and heal when you need it. Works out pretty well. As you can tell, we also have a little bit of an issue with my item menu here going on, up and down like that. Yeah, there is actually a trick in this game too. So if we go over to speed, set to fast and no display, and then immediately quit, it will suspend the game. And when we come back, there is no animations for the menus. Everything is pretty much just instant again. But before I actually continue, just in case, I'm going to actually do this right away, make sure that we're on display for our stuff. So while everything is still really fast, I actually can, see my battle messages I can do. I'm no speedrunner, so I actually want to see how much damage I'm doing and stuff, right away. That'd be kind of nice. I'm going to set her here so I can actually get some people to go in there. And I'm going to have Dawn actually go here, maybe start doing an attack, because they have to go around her in order to get some attacks off, and I don't want to block the bridge just yet. So I'll see if I can get this scavenger to maybe target Dawn instead, because they will go after Natasha as well as Deanna if they have the chance. Alright, so what I can do now is I can pretty much just go over here and block it, or I can go over here and then have some people maybe get through. It just depends on how I want to do this, because Eric, as well as Dawn, actually has some range because they have spears from the get-go, which is kind of nice to have because I just have multiple range. I can just do this and just get rid of the scavenger really quickly, get a medical herb from it, which is a pretty decent start. That way I can actually get in and just move a couple characters over. And then I can have Deanna go over here and actually block Natasha from getting hit again. I should be good to go. Now we'll see this one go around and just go towards Eric because I need to get rid of Eric to get to Natasha. Just slightly annoying. Why not the biggest deal in the world? All right, now that most of my troop is pretty much out in full force, I can set Natasha right over here and start doing some magic. So we'll do Blaze and actually hit this goblin. This should put it in the range for, say, Luke to maybe do enough damage in order to get rid of it. Just depends on who decides to go because turn order is a little bit wonky, as it always is. I am not actually going to move here. I'm just going to set right there so Natasha can be safe. Do that and get rid of this goblin. There we go. I'm probably not going to get too many level ups in the first battle because there's not really too many people to level up. I'm going to set you right here so the goblins have someone to go after. Dawn could actually start heading towards this way. It might be a little bit troublesome to head there right away. So I'm going to set her here. And then, in the meantime, I'll have Luke actually step out and maybe see about healing some people like Natasha. Because Luke definitely needs the experience and he hasn't really hit anybody yet. And getting like 10 to like 19 experience per heal, or 13 in this case, is not really that good of an amount. So I actually start needing to hit people with him as well. So we'll do that. It's slightly frustrating starting off a new set of characters, but it is a whole new game in retrospect, because this is the second Game Gear game of the line, which is the one we got. We never got the first one on the Game Gear way back when. We got the second one, which is a little weird. But I guess they decided to release the second one. Here we go. Now, Natasha could probably just go right over here, not aggress. I hate the fact that it always starts on aggress. That's the biggest issue I'm going to have with Natasha is I might accidentally hit aggress because the fact that she has it and I want to use something else like Blaze. That's that. Eric should be able to get a good hit in. He has some decent defense. I'm not really too worried about him just yet. If that Dragoonu gets in there, I'm going to be a little bit of a problem with that. Okay, Dawn, just sit there and keep attacking. Get some experience right over here. There is a big flaw with this original party lineup here, which honestly is really confusing to me. Why don't you start with an archer? That's like the weirdest thing, to not have an archer. You are guarding a castle, and there's not a single archer. I can kind of see the spears, but once you throw that spear, technically you don't have it anymore. So it's a little weird to see the fact that, oh hey, there's still no archer. It's like, what's going on there? And to be fair, I guess if they didn't find Deanna, they would have one less person as well, so that makes it even weirder to me. Speaking of Deanna, I actually do like his character sprite here because, well, yes, holding the shield's a little weird with it, like being a giant shield that he holds horizontal in his hands and just kind of like, where's the support on the bottom of the shield there? I'm not exactly sure how that works out. But let's see, I'm gonna have Natasha help out Deanna a little bit, get rid of this goblin. Crit hit on Blaze, I'm okay with that because it normally does 6. That's a decent level up. Her getting MP pretty dang early on will be nice because her being a main character mage, definitely get the MP, please. We definitely want that. But now that we got rid of that side, we kind of need to start working on this side here. So let's get rid of you, or at least try to. We do a decent chunk of damage. And level 2, some decent attack out of it. I would like the higher numbers still, though. Kind of end this off with you going after it as well, Dawn. There we go. And let's see, the goblin just kind of chills there. Deanna could just move down here. Luke could actually go in there and get the kill because I would like to have Luke get a level up, please. Thank you. Medical herb, thank you. 49 experience, not even close. I still need a little bit more to get the level up. Jaha could probably just take a step forward and then move you over. That way we have, okay, they're going after Luke. That's okay. It's just only the strongest of their fighters attacking my healer. It's fine. I can handle it. Let's do this. Do 5 damage on a crit hit, which basically means, yeah, strong enemy to deal with. All right, Luke, I actually kind of want you to go over here and heal yourself. You have no magic points. Thankfully, you just picked up an herb, so we can at least do that as well. So, boop. Yeah, Luke only having 6 MP at the start is kind of a hassle. And you're like, man, I really wish I could heal more. Eric, you can go over here because you're already level 2, and I don't want you to outclass everybody else because you can really move around, just attack things willy-nilly. Just get a ton of experience. So you probably will outclass a lot of people really dang quickly. You'll basically just become my Apis all over again. Which, totally fine with that, but let's see if I can get Deanna, get a good hit in there. Get level 2 maybe? Nope. All right, Jaha, well you can get in there and get a good hit. There we go. Would be nice if you leveled up from that. Past that, I can move Natasha right over here. Dawn can move in right here. I could attack it and get rid of it. You know, I'll do that. That's fine. I can level up people in the next battle. It's not that big of a deal right now. It's literally the first battle. I'm not complaining that much if some people haven't leveled up yet. Ah, thief! The sword of Haja has been stolen! Must be the work of Eom. Graham took a fighting stance with the sword of Haja. Look, there's a thief! After him! I'll get him! Some good guards we got there. Look, there he is! Rats, they're after me. Dwarf. Yeah? A Cypress battalion! Graham, you idiots! You've been followed! Go on ahead, leave this to me. Yes, I'll go on ahead. Hurry, everyone, get that man! Wait a moment. If you're after Graham, I'm afraid you're out of luck. I'm afraid I can't let you go any further. My faithful followers, attack! Time for the second battle, but we're actually not doing that just yet. We have a little bit of an ingress action because we get to see how the camp looks just like it is before. So, normally we have a shop on the right if we would need it, but yeah, there's no shop just yet, and if we need to revive people, we could just do the help option. We could manage our items with the items and then save with save. It's all the same stuff as book 1. So let's take a look at what our members have to say this time around. Starting with Deanna, he says rather kinda nothing, because he is a leader, but he's more of a meek person, which is why Natasha's more the leader. When we work together as a team, I believe we can do anything. Jaha, look at my heavy armor. Have you seen a soldier stronger than me? If you had a actual helmet, maybe. You have like literally a pot on your head. So yeah, maybe hopefully when you promote, you won't have a pot on your head anymore. The noble Eric, my noble blood never allows me to lose. But I can't hold up my head before Dawn. And then Dawn, yeah, I like the action on the front line. And then Luke. Unlike Jaha and Eric, I can use magic spells. It's funny that Luke actually said their names because in Japan, all these characters have different names, aside from Natasha. It's weird that way, but this game, as well as 2 shared development time, and the American branch got lazy and they decided to just use the same names between both games for some characters here and there. Deanna is named Shu, Natasha's correct. Eric is named Kraid, Dawn is Angela, Jaha is Aaron, and Luke is like Bill or Beer. It's a little weird that way, but Gaiden 2, Sword of Haja, actually came out first in both Japan and America, so the names, honestly, I think 2 kind of copied them from this game. I mean, they share development time, so who knows. Either way, next time Azure plays more Shining Force CD, we're gonna be seeing more confusing names and we get more characters, but we gotta go through the next battle first. So I'll see you all then.